Now, I had for the last couple of weeks been wanting to get hold of our motoring mate, Greg Murphy, and talk about various things in the world of motorsport, but he has been away overseas. He's been at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, and I've only been peripherally aware of this until the last couple of years because of online and videos online. And really, my reason for having Greg on this morning is I want to find out more about this event because it looks like the sort of thing you might put on your bucket list. So Greg Murphy, motoring legend, joins us now. How are you, Greg?
Good, Sean. Yes, I'm back. And, I'm glad you wanted to talk about it because it is something to behold, that event.
Yeah, well, I just look at it. So give me a layperson's, how would you describe to a layperson what the Goodwood Festival of Speed is?
Well, okay. It's a bit of a mix, to be fair, and it's just evolved over the last 30 years. The Duke of Richmond, from what I'm told, was sort of getting a little bit skint 30 years ago, or with cash to be able to maintain the beautiful property.
No, I left the checkboarding in the drag. Dreadfully sorry.
Yeah,
can't pay
that's
for the
right.
drink.
So one of his mates, I think, came up with a bit of an idea, put on an event there, and this is what we've ended up with. And it really is the event of all sort of car motorsport events. I mean, it's not racing; it's a hill climb. So there's this amazing bit of sort of narrow road that runs up through the centre of the property in front of the main house. And so there's a sort of a competition thing, but it's more of just display of vehicles.
Someone said to me it's like the International Summer Garden Party for motorsport.
I think I wish I'd thought of that because that's a very good way to probably describe it. But every manufacturer is there. It's become sort of the go-to car show to expose new products and showcase new models and launch vehicles. The money that manufacturers are spending on their displays, on massive corporate hospitality kind of built suites, and they get the opportunity to run cars up the hill in front of crowds with customers and all this kind of stuff, and then there's just legend upon legend upon legend of drivers that have achieved the most incredible feats. And this year they were celebrating 75 years of Formula One, so my timing was pretty good, and that was in collab with Formula One a little bit as well. So there was world champions all over the bloody place, showcasing them, vehicles and cars and F1 cars that they drove back in their period. So it was just spectacular.
How many people go, Greg? I mean, how big is it?
Well, it was 4 days now. They've extended it to 4 days. It used to be 3. There's no question in my mind there was well over 100,000 each day. On the property. It's a big property. It is just enormous.
And they've got like a campground and everything. And I see you can get £240, which is what? Nearly $500 per camping site.
More,
Roving grandstand, £52 per person. Geez, I mean, it ain't cheap.
Well, it is if you just don't convert it because a pound is a pound. So the number is the number, but it's expensive when you convert it because of our New Zealand peso, which is worth rubbish everywhere around the world. Yeah. It makes it incredibly expensive. But, the happiness there by every single person, the appreciation, there's just people everywhere that have got obviously some kind of love or desire or for motorsport, for cars, all that kind of stuff, and appreciation. And the Duke and Duchess just make everyone so welcome.
Did you meet them, Meth? Did you meet them?
Yeah.
Oh, jolly good.
They're lovely. Yeah. Just wonderful people. Being able to, you can see the buzz and the thrill they get from being able to share their property and had put this event on. There's nothing like it in the world. I've been to nothing ever like it that even comes close. It is by far the biggest of its kind and the best of its kind in the world. Yeah.
All right. Did you go there for work? Were you there representing someone or?
No, we'd talked about it a couple of years ago with some friends, a good mate down here who's got a couple of cars, and then another a good friend in Australia who's got owns the 2003 Bathurst winning 24-hour Monaro that I raced with Peter Brock back then. and we were talking about things to do with the cars, and everyone wanted to do Goodwood, so we managed to get a couple of invites for that, and my other friend's Nissan Skyline that Jim Richards raced in 1990 at the Australian Touring Car Championship. So Stephen Richards was driving that, and which is lovely because it's his dad's old car, and I was driving the Monaro. So we took those up to England, and we got into what they were calling the shootout, which is just a sort of a competitive sort of part of the whole weekend. Not that we were competitive to be the winners, but it was just an honour to be a part of it and a privilege to be part of it. Yeah, so we did that, and we came away with a bit of an award. They loved the fact that we'd brought those cars up, and they were very popular. So Stephen and I got drivers of the event.
Wow, I never realised, Greg. I honestly had no idea, mate, that I was talking to such a winner. Hey, I see Liam Lawson drove a rally car there.
Yes, he did. He was there on the Thursday. Unfortunately, didn't get to catch up. He was pretty busy. But he drove an older Formula One car, did some donuts and some skids, and he also was driving an M Sport Ford Focus rally car. From all accounts, and some of the stuff I've seen, he was incredibly fast in it. Did very well. Took to it like duck to water. So that sort of highlights, his skill set, that you can climb in something like that, a little bit Shane Van Gisbergen-esque, and got him that. And,
SVG had a shocker though last in his latest NASCAR.
Yeah, he did. That sort of happens. It's just one of those things. Yeah. He's well and truly immersed himself inside the finals, though, which is really important. And he's setting chins wagging. His team owner Justin Marks was at Goodwood and got to have a quick chat with him. But I mean, yeah, they've got a love affair there.
Now, had the Christian Horner stuff happened while you were there?
Yeah, I was literally at Goodwood on Wednesday, across the road at the beautiful Goodwood racing circuit, and everyone's phones lit up. So yes, I was there when that happened. So yes.
What's the general take on him, on Horner?
I think the general take is that he sort of lost touch with actually what he was there to be doing. I think it was a big power play. He's been doing a power play with the Red Bull for a little while.
And he was trying to get rid of Marco, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's trying to really get control of everything, and he'd sided very closely with the Thai owner, who had 51%. I think something changed there in the ownership sort of percentages, and the opportunity presented for the board to go, enough's enough, Christian. It's not about you, it's about our team, and we've been going backwards. And it just seems there's a bit of disarray, and there's also still I think something hanging over him with that issue that he had last year with the
brutal game. Brute. And look, part of me says, Greg, having watched every season and how they treat the drivers, there's a certain part of me that says it's quite good seeing one of those chief executive guys getting it up the botty instead of doing it to someone else.
Yeah, I think he had done, he'd built that team. He'd been there 20 years. He'd done huge amounts of very, very good things, but it was, all good things do come to an end, and it was just a bit of a, with Max Verstappen sort of sitting there at the moment, I believe will go to Mercedes, I reckon. I think
you reckon that is on?
I think that's going to be on, and George Russell is going to be the one that actually, I feel is going to be the one that misses out, and he's been doing a wonderful job this year doing his job, driving a car very well, but Max has just got so much power, so much power. And I think that is going to be a change that does happen. That I just feel that, because if that wasn't the case, then George Russell would have signed.
So what happens at Red Bull? Does Liam get another crack?
That will be an interesting situation, because they really do need probably a leader in that team. And that means that possibly the likes of George Russell or even Carlos Sainz, who is at Williams at the moment, if he could sort of get out of his contract maybe. And then there's unfortunately Isaac Hadjar is there with teammates with Liam.
Yeah.
That's a pretty difficult and going to be quite a challenging sort of drive to maintain. And I think also Red Bull is going to struggle next year a little bit with their new powertrain and bits and pieces as well. So I don't know. It's there's a lot to unravel, I believe.
Well, I know all about it now, because last Saturday I and a lady friend went to the F1 movie. Now,
did you just?
Now, it was a bit of a line call. But as soon as we sat down, she went, "Oh, Brad Pitt's in it." I was sweet, okay? I thought this is a dodgy date night movie call. But as soon as she saw Brad Pitt in it, it was like the first Top Gun movie. If you remember that, you're of an age. Your girlfriends would want to see it in because you want to see the fighter pilot stuff the planes, and they wanted to see the volleyball scene.
Yeah.
And I think for people of a certain age, the F1 marketers have got it right. Brad Pitt is the eye candy for the female audience, the F1 cars. Have you seen it yet?
No, and I will not be looking to watch it. No. It's unfortunately that plot does not work with me. Bringing in a 50-something-year-old driver to lead a Formula One team is not a realistic or plot that I can be bothered with. I think they could have done it differently and better if they were going to spend all that money. But anyway, so be it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, the person I was at the movie didn't care whether the plot worked, Greg,
Sure.
as long as Brad got his kit off at some,
And he did?
Yeah, well, he got his shirt off. That was all enough. Right. That was enough. Wasn't a dry seat in the house. Greg, look, good to catch up. Would you recommend Goodwood, if you want to go and have an experience? It sounds to me, the neat thing is it's over 4 days. I've always wanted, I haven't been to a Grand Prix yet. I'm sure I'll get to one. But I looked at Goodwood as an experience, and I think that would actually be more than a Grand Prix.
Very much so, because there is so much more there. At a Grand Prix, and a lot of Grand Prix, Melbourne does a very good job, very different to a lot of other Grand Prix because there's a lot of other activity going on the racetrack. A lot of Grand Prix you go to, there might be one support category or two support categories. You might get F2 and F3 plus Formula One, but nothing else kind of thing to do. So, you are there just for the cars. At Goodwood, there's wonderful cars. It's a wonderful facility. It's a place. There's so many things to look at. It's a car show. There's amazing other technology and all sorts of stuff there as well. It's an experience. So you get bang for your buck. There's absolute bang for your buck, and you're on this wonderful, beautiful old property with amazing buildings and all sorts of other things as well. So it is bucket list, and it should be on it.
Yeah. And finally, mate, look, since we last talked, I think Jaguar fired their marketing people. Yeah. And their sales figures have come out, which are just appalling.
It's a shame.
Have they destroyed themselves, or do you think they can come back?
I feel a lot of damage is done. Those cars were actually there at Goodwood on show, so I actually saw them for the first time. There's just their show cars in the flesh, and they are a dead set statement. But when the marketing came out, and the fact that they haven't had any production of anything, they sort of launched what the future was going to be, stopped production of the current vehicles, and so there's this massive void. They don't actually have any cars to sell because they're not manufacturing any cars. And everyone is sort of saying, well, that was an interesting way to go about, plummeting car sales for your brand. But remember that Jaguar Land Rover has got Land Rover, Range Rover, other brands as well. Yeah. So I suppose they've relied on that to keep things where they are. But the Jaguar side of things, it's a real shame because their product was fantastic, and it was I had F-Pace SVRs for a few years, and they were wonderful, fantastic cars. So has it destroyed it completely? Time will tell, but based on the fact that they've sacked a whole lot of people, and the agency that did the marketing has also been sacked and gone, and everything else, you would say that it's in a bit of strife, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm getting texts from people who've said you can watch Murph on YouTube. Great job in the 427 Monaro. And they said just search Goodwood on the YouTube. I must do that.
They did streamed it. They streamed it live all for 4 days. It was amazing coverage. So there's heaps of that on there. And Stephen and I running up the hill, we get quite a bit there. Actually, it's bloody amazing.
Bloody good, Murph. Always a pleasure, mate. We will talk again soon.
Cheers, Sean. Good on you.
Cheers, buddy. That is motorsport legend Greg. God, I just love having a yarn with him. Really. Sorry if you were all bored. I don't care.